tons of recruiting stuff is in the live chat. And the one name that's being mentioned the most,
Khris Bogle,
is Khris Bogle. So do we know anything about him possibly leaning and giving us some cryptic messages?
All right, so let me go through things for those who are not on social media as heavy as I. So Manny Diaz is pretty much like the best head coach in football on social media because he cultivates his own content. He does his own account, was doing it as a coordinator, but now being the head man, he's able to step that up. So he kind of precipitated everything with Tate Martell and Jeff Thomas yesterday by tweeting out some things, and then that kind of got things going. So we're kind of learning or being conditioned to look at his account, and if we see things, then we start to kind of piece things together. So basically, Manny Diaz took a screenshot on his Instagram story in the exact location that Khris Bogle sat to release his top 4 graphic thing. And he kind of was just like there, Now, Khris Bogle committed to Alabama at the Adidas All-American game and is a, 6'4", 210-pound defensive end who goes to Cardinal Gibbons, which again is around the corner from my house. So he's the top player in Broward County right now in South Florida this cycle, and he's very good. Obviously, Miami could use a player of his caliber. So Manny Diaz tweeting that out, and people were starting to put things together about, okay, cool, if this is, that and that kind of calculus, that timeline calculus, if you will. So now, as we've been recording, the thing that has really started to push, Khris Bogle said, okay, Miami is trying to get re-involved in my recruitment, even though I'm committed to Alabama. And he wants to, or Miami's pushing to get him to take a second official visit, which you can do under the new NCAA rule. If a program changes their head coach, you can go visit again and not use up one of your visits. So yeah, you can basically backtrack. So Miami's trying to get him to do that. But he's saying, okay, I'm all in with Alabama, boom, boom, boom. Like I said, during this recording right now, defensive coordinator Tosh Lupoy from the University of Alabama is reportedly going to go to the Cleveland Browns and coach their defensive line. So now probably the single best recruiter in college football who was recruiting Khris Bogle is going to be now stepping up to the NFL level. Obviously, now you still do have Craig Kuligowski there, who's probably one of the 2 or 3 best defensive line coaches in all of football, who's there at Alabama. Kuligowski's not a great recruiter, though. He's a great tactician and developer. So, the guy who really recruited me is not there, but the guy who's going to coach me is, maybe if I'm Khris Bogle. And he actually just tweeted Khris Bogle, that is. He said, don't DM me asking what's next. I don't know. #DND for do not disturb my phone. So that is like live. I just clicked over to my TweetDeck tab so I could see that personally. So all of that being said, Miami's been pushing. Miami's continuing to push, obviously wants to have a top-tier defensive end, another top-tier defensive end to rebuild that talent and depth on the defensive line. So, and Khris Bogle is the best option, and he's local to South Florida. Like, again, he goes to school not too far away from where I live. So, yeah, there is all of that. I'm not in a place where I've checked around with people where I can say anything past that, but that's kind of what's been going on in the last hour, 10 minutes even, regarding Khris Bogle. So yeah, people obviously are interested to see what happens with him, and with Tosh Lupoy leaving Alabama, maybe there's a sliver of a chance there, but we will see what happens.
Ask Cam if there's any news on Trevon Hill, the Virginia Tech defensive end transfer. He would start opposite Jonathan Garvin at D end.
Yeah, I saw that name today. I wasn't really able to look into it because I was kind of, in my little breaks at work and things, checking the timeline and things like that. I haven't even gotten to ask around or anything, or really kind of look into anything, read any of the reports, from the recruiting services, or anything on that. So he's a talented player. Obviously, I do know that, but I don't have any other knowledge to add other than I know who he is. And I know he's very talented, and we'll see what happens.
All right. The schedule. Anything else on the recruiting front that we haven't hit on?
Yeah, I mean, just really trying to move forward with these visits and things. So hopefully those come together very, very soon. There's going to be a couple. This week we have Bubba Bolden, who's the transfer safety from Southern California, who's coming in. He is Another Bishop Gorman alum. So he was the same recruiting year in 2017 as Tate Martell. So high school teammates in 2017. Your 2018 alum was Brevin Jordan, the first team freshman All-American tight end. So there's 3 dudes from Bishop Gorman who are going to be on the team. And Bubba Bolden's coming down for his visit this weekend. Also, we have Tredarian Boykin from Jones County, Georgia. He's like a more athletic Trent Harris. He's 6'2", 235, defensive end, 4-star. He's like a top 300 player in the country. And obviously Jess Simpson, being, a previously legendary head coach at Buford High School up in Buford, Georgia, was able to work some of those connections and get Tredarian Boykin to come down. John Reese Plumlee, who I mentioned earlier, he's a dual threat quarterback out of Hattiesburg, Oak Grove, in Mississippi. He is committed to Georgia, but obviously looking around a little bit because Georgia got a Michigan native 4-star quarterback to come down because they wanted to upgrade that position a little bit in this recruiting class because they were losing Justin Fields to Ohio State. So John Reese Plumlee is coming down as well this weekend. So there's going to be 2 high school official visits, 1 transfer visit. And then moving forward, the real big thing is, we got to see what these visits are moving forward. If we're able to get, all these guys that Miami's chasing, a Kyer Elam to come back down, a Martin Emerson, Jared Harrison Hunt, Mark Anthony Richards, Khris Bogle, maybe Octavius Brothers, and Eugene Asante, so some linebackers. George Pickens is a Alabama recruit who Miami has kind of been pushing towards potentially coming down to take a visit. So, there are things afoot. So this weekend, well, probably not this weekend because there's already 2 scheduled, but the next 2 weekends. So that would be the 25th weekend and then February the 1st. So the last 2 weekends before signing day. Hopefully we'll see some additional names pop up as who we're going to visit. But yeah, Manny Diaz and staff are really trying to work hard to get some traction with some guys late in this cycle. So, hopefully these things happen, but we'll see.
Jalen Hazelwood.
I want to talk about what Jaden Hazelwood said. Fine. Jaden Hazelwood, the nation's #1 wide receiver, 5-star All-American, #3 overall recruit in the 2019 recruiting class, was considering Miami for a time and went on social media and had a video where he was talking about the fact that he wasn't going to come to Miami because players there didn't care about football. They had no passion. They had no intensity or integrity. They didn't care about losing. They were unaffected by it. They just did not have that kind of personality that he wanted to be around. And hey, if that's his opinion, that's fine. And again, especially for an offensive player from last season, I don't necessarily think that he's off base. When you have players, again, who came out after the bowl game, offensive and defensive, and said the locker room was fractured. Defense started to resent the offense because the offense wasn't doing anything while the defense was championship caliber. And I know that there's a couple of people who say it wasn't championship caliber because look at the points you give up. Well, it's a synergistic kind of thing. The right hand has to wash the left hand. So the offense continues to go 3 and out or turn the ball over and give short fields. The defense being out there forever, which happened many a time, eventually is going to wear down. You're not going to just shut people out. But Miami did full stop have a championship caliber defense, and the defensive players started to resent the offensive players. And, if you see with Jeff Thomas, who stepped away, left the team and program and everything, and said, dude, I don't want to be around this. You guys want to discipline me for whatever, but, people are doing the wrong thing, and we're not scoring points, and we're not having fun, and we're not doing all these different kind of things. So I don't necessarily think that Jaden Hazelwood is off base. But then again, I'm also not going to take the word of an 18-year-old blindly and implicitly. There are layers to the onion. There are different points and pieces to the scenario. But that was his view of it. And I believe that he is validated to feel that and think that and say that. And if that's his truth, he's speaking his truth. And hopefully that other people, might see it differently. Jeremiah Payton, an All-American 4-star wide receiver recruit from Jacksonville, he said, yeah, I don't feel that way. And he was locked in with Miami. Payton was. He signed with Miami. He's going to be an early enrollee. So, it takes all kinds. Some of you guys like bananas. I ate too many bananas as a baby, so I don't eat anything banana flavored anymore at all. I don't do it. And that's okay. So Jaden Hazelwood, I wish him the best. I do not wish anything ill upon him. You know, and if that, again, was his truth, then he is validated to feel that way and do that and be that and say that. And, you know, go with God, vaya con Dios, and be fine out there in Oklahoma. We're going to focus on the Miami Hurricanes over here and move forward.
Cameron says Shaq would lay the wood in practice, and he was afraid of that.
I mean, look, you got wide receivers coming over the middle. You get big 55, you know, you're running a drag route and they're playing, you know, cover 2 zone and you're running into that spot. Yeah, no, 55 might make you feel that. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. And like I said, you know, obviously, would I have liked to have the #1 wide receiver, #3 overall recruit in America this cycle to come to Miami? Absolutely. He did not. He had strong feelings about the Miami program, especially the offense and the lack of spirit that those gentlemen showed. And again, he's fine with that. And I wish him well, and I will watch him from afar. But I'm going to focus on the Miami Hurricanes, and hopefully we're going to get things going right in Coral Gables and at Hard Rock Stadium and all the places that the Canes travel in the 2019 season and beyond.
Fred Langston says, great show, guys. Thank you so much, Fred.
Appreciate it.
State of the U, check it out. If you have yet to catch Miami football coverage there, you hear it from Cam right here. So obviously, by extension, you should check out State of the U because he's able to pontificate even more by the written word. If you love college football, Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, we continue to explode. Thank you so much for your support and help in that. Share the videos as well. You're going to see the individual segments over at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. And of course, we'll continue to do the live shows right here. Cam, we appreciate you spending so much time with us tonight, man.
Yeah, man. You know, like I said, especially after yesterday's action and everything, and all of the offensive hires basically happened, or a couple of them happened in between the last time that I was here and now. So figured I would give you guys that. And I was just a little motivated and, you know, lubricated with my Underwood Wine Company wine and everything. But no, I mean, it's good to talk to you guys. And, you know, just like Mark says, I mean, I'm active on Twitter all the time. At the State of the U or at Underwood Sports. I have 2 different accounts. Please follow either or both, but maybe the State of the U one, because I think we're cresting over 31,000 followers right now. Facebook.com/the State of the U. Follow that. And so when you read those tweets, you can read them in my voice. When you read my articles that I write, you can read them in my voice. But it's not just my voice, the State of the U. We have a vast and diverse contributing group, and we have great contributors. And I don't say that just because I write for State of the U. I honestly love reading what everybody writes every single day. Whether it's Marshall Thomas, whether it's Dylan Sherry, Matt Washington, Justin Dottavio, John Camera. I'm missing so many guys because we have so many different contributors. Amy Grunledger, she hops in with some great stuff. Craig T. Smith, John Reynolds doing football and baseball commentary. We have so many great guys and gals, at State of the U. We really do care about the U, and we care about what we bring you guys. So please, you know, if you're supporting this, go over to State of the U. Check out what we have for you. We have a variety of content. Please come fan with us at State of the U. We'd love to hear back from you, and really appreciate your support moving forward.
Wholesome One, we see you. Good to see you in the live chat as well. And everybody that mentioned that they subscribed tonight, thank you so much for your support. You won't be disappointed. We discuss, debate, and analyze college football like nobody else right here, talking nothing but Canes right here at this channel. And again, if you love college football across the board, Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, please join me there as well. Cam, thanks for stopping by. It's always a great conversation.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it was a great time. Thanks for having me, and I'll talk to you guys soon.